So we are here with
Wino
from
Obsessed.
Now. Why did it take so long for Obsessed to resurface?
Chemistry wasn't right. Chemistry's right now. Now that we've got Rayleigh and Brian Costantino on board. Basically, me and Brian had due to 30 years ago, we had an opportunity to jam at the tail end of the last Spirit Caravan reunion, and we realized that we had kind of a special chemistry, and so we decided to put the Obsessed back together. Dave Sherman rolled his cabinets over during his time, and we forged ahead with him playing bass, and we actually did our new record with him on bass, and then didn't work out. So we decided to try and experiment with another bass player and another guitar player, and that didn't work out either. So we kept to the original formula, slimmed back down with Rayleigh on bass. So it's basically me, Reed, and Brian. And Reed, it comes from the band Wake from Arkansas, and he also has played with me before in the 2013 Maryland Death Fest. And we did some silent shows and stuff. So, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the strongest line of the Obsessed, and this is what it will be.
How do you make it agree with your work with St. Vitus?
What's that?
How do you make it work being also
I'm not in St. Vitus.
You're not in St. Vitus anymore?
Not in any other bands right now except
So
Obsessed.
you are exclusively with Obsessed at this point?
They decided to forge ahead with their original singer. They're doing a lot of touring in Europe. And right now, so that's the way it is. It's okay with me. I mean, we're all friends and stuff, but I want to play guitar. This is my baby, so this is what we do.
Excellent. How did you even get interested in music? What came first, the vocals or guitar?
I always felt like that I was hardwired to want to play guitar from birth. I was just fascinated by rock music. Guitar is what I wanted to do, and I didn't actually start singing and playing guitar, as a three-piece or whatever until after we'd had a couple lead singers.
Cool. When you started, doom metal was not really a popular genre. How did you manage to kind of stick it out to make it happen?
Well, doom is just another word to describe something, same as stoner rock is. I mean, I always just consider the Obsessed a hard rock band. We've never really changed. I mean, I just don't believe in. I believe that the power that I believe that music speaks. I believe that there's music is built around passion. Music is built around spirit. Music is built around a certain sense of urgent defiance. We don't like to conform. I love this country, but I hate this fucking government. And we have to stand up for what we believe in, and what we believe in is what's right.
Now, as you approach the new album, what was going through your head? What is it that you wanted to get out of your system?
Well, what was it I wanted to get out of my system? Good question. Some sperm, some speed. Let me think. What did I want to get out of my system? I basically wanted to just continue on the path which we normally do, which is to play kick-ass music to enrich other people's lives and ours as well.
Over the years, how would you say your vocals have changed?
Well, I learned how to sing when I joined St. Vitus because I didn't have, the guitar to hide behind it, whatever. But really, it all kind of crystallized when I realized that for my particular range that I needed to tune down a half step from normal. When I finally figured out that I needed to tune down a half step, then that's when it sort of all came into focus.
Who are some of the important singers for you when you were growing up?
Important singers?
Yeah.
I really like John Lennon. I like Ozzy and Sabbath, of course. I like Frank Zappa. I like Dave Manian. I like Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young. I like my neighbor, Kim Condon, who patronize me.
Got it. What about someone like Ian Gillan?
Ian Gillan, yeah, he was pretty influential. I like Ian Gillan. Yeah, he was cool. I liked the one guy that sang in Sabbath Ray. He died after she was only very short lived. His name was oh man, I can't remember his name. I like Thin Lizzy. I like Lana's voice too. I really like the singer's voice who sings on the Shot in the Head, Savoy Brown. Yeah.
There is like
This is a reissue of the first record that our friend Joe Lally did. He used to bass play Fugazi. He thought the purple record should not be out of print, so he re-released it with a different cover. And we added a live set on there from the Glenmont Rec Center, which just kind of showed the true way that the band, the kind of the punk rock roots that we had. The live show was kind of a punk rock show. Lunar Womb. This is the record we did when The Obsessed. When St. Vitus was asked. When St. Vitus signed to Hellhound Records, I told them that I had a record in the can. That was the purple record. That was this record right here. That was just, it had a different cover, but
yes, the three of you standing.
So I agreed. Basically, I asked the Germans if they would re-release the first Obsessed record, and they said they would, but they wanted a tour. So after we released that record, the German label Hellhound did. Then we did a short tour with Scott Reeder playing bass, and then after that tour, we went in the studio and we recorded this, Lunar Womb. And on the back, you can see like our mostly our European friends, but there's my girlfriend Yvonne. She was Isla de Pueblo. She's cuter than fuck. There's fucking old penis right there, Schneeby. So this is basically like a montage of like our days, how we lived at the time, the people we were friends with, and a lot of our German counterparts, people that ran our label and stuff. So yeah, Lunar Womb. We paid Frank. We gave Frank a case of beer to paint that picture. Old Franco.
Now, it took a while before Church Within came out.
This record, after Scott Reeder left the band, under some chicanery, we knuckled back down to LA, and Guy Pienhaus came out from Amsterdam to play bass for us. At that time, we got word through the grapevine. Basically, Kevin Sharp from Brutal Truth was a major Obsessed fan. He turned on Jim Welch to the Obsessed, and Jim Welch turned on Joshua Rubin, who was a young A&R guy at Columbia Records. So basically, the word came down, and we finally got the Hellhound guys really tried to shield us from being able to get this deal, but. We hired a lawyer named Rosemary Carroll. She was married to Jim Carroll of the Basketball Diaries, so that's how she had the name Carroll. She's now married to Danny Goldberg of Gold Mountain, of course, probably the richest man in the world, one of them. But anyways, Rosemary Carroll really liked our band. She came out to see us play, and me and her had an interesting relationship because we shared the same birthday. So she shopped us around, and she found that Columbia Records was the main label that was interested in us doing a record. So this is still when the big record companies held sway. At this particular time, Sony owned Columbia, and Sony decided to pull out of Columbia Records. The Sony pulled out of the Japanese movie end of Sony pulled out, and so it was a little bit of disarray. I remember that the one big rock band they had was Alice in Chains, and so it was a little bit of a struggle. They didn't really know how to market us. Our friend Mad Mark Rude drew this picture with my direction. Mad Mark Rude is now deceased. He was a famous punk rock artist who did Italian Saints record, Sex and the Horseheads. He did like a lot of posters. He was very well known in the punk rock community. We hired him to do this record. Hard prison cell, kind of, sort of. The Church Within, the swirl on this record, that blue swirl right there, that was an image that was captured by a photographer inside a dark medicine kiva in a Mayan pyramid. It was actually deep inside the pyramid. It was pitch black. He saw this energy swirl and was absolutely able to capture it with his camera. Church Sim, label fell asleep on this record pretty damn quick. And all the songs, we had a two record deal, and they didn't give us a second record. But all the songs that were to become the second Obsessed record mainly became Jug Full of Sun, Spirit Caravan.
Now, being on a major label back in the early 90s was a big deal.
Well, it should have been a big deal. But a lot of people told me that, hey, you're making a mistake and that they will fuck you, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, at the time, I thought it was a license to fly. They gave us a lot of money to do this record. They paid our rent stuff. It was also a lot of hassle. I mean, I remember my landlord didn't even believe I had a record deal because they could never pay us on time. The check would go from one floor to the next, to the next. We had to write our lawyer, Rosemary Carroll, a letter to the label saying that if they didn't pay us on time, they were going to breach their contract. Okay, so the reason we left Columbia Records is because they asked us to re-demo to be more radio friendly, and we refused. This record was done by Greg Anderson and Southern Lord, and what this was like outtakes and demos over the period of time. It's got one of my favorite Obsessed songs on there, a song called Yen Sleep, which we'll probably end up doing. This record is like an underground gem, I think. It has versions of different songs on there, put out by Greg Anderson. And that's not Greg Anderson, he's another unsung American hero, along with Mr. Kozik, Frank Kozik. Frank Kozik was instrumental in kickstarting the stoner rock, if you want to call it, or the hard rock movement with his label Man's Ruin. I think he was ahead of his time, and of course his artwork stands testament to his to my eye, pleasantly antisocial approach. I think that he was ahead of his time with his label, and unfortunately, I think that it bore him no fruit. This is our newest record. This is Sacred. This is a record that I'm very proud of. Me and Brian Costina played drums on this. Dave Sherman from the band Earthride played bass on this. We have Reed Rayleigh in the band now playing bass for various reasons, but we are now three-piece with me, Brian, and Reed. I'm really super proud of this record. We did this record with Frank Marchand. He is a producer in Maryland, an engineer, and we were able to do this record. Frank Marchand has an amazing command of the digital realm and all state-of-the-art digital equipment, but he also has a vast array of analog stuff. Vintage guitars, vintage drums, pedals, guitars. We were able to have the most of both worlds, best of both worlds. Recording the high-tech digital equipment, but also I was singing into a World War II era Sennheiser German microphone that's worth about $30,000 US. It was pretty amazing. We were able to fine-tune each song, the drum sound for each song, with this vast array of snare drums that he had, vintage snare drums. This is a picture I took right here for this. I was happy that the Relapse people wanted to use my art for the booklet. So this is mostly my art. It's pretty weird. This is a little thing I set up here with some sacred objects to me. I laid out a psychedelic tapestry, and I stood above it. Where actually I had my stork-like girlfriend stand on a small stepladder and take this picture. In that coffin reel right there are 2 hits of real LSD, which I ate later.
How are the people reacting to Obsessed coming back?
We've had a very good response. We've had an amazing response to the record. The record has actually charted in all the, I don't know if it's like charted on Billboard, but in all the underground charts, it's charted. I think the response has been actually pretty great. We've been selling a lot of records. So I'm pretty happy.
Now also in between Obsessed, there were other projects. We mentioned St. Vitus. What was that experience like for you over the years?
St. Vitus was an amazing band. The thing about St. Vitus is, the St. Vitus' music is it's slow, it's bleak, it's primitive, it's angry. So in order to do St. Vitus properly, I had to get my head in a special place, which usually meant quite a bit of drugs and alcohol. So in a way, it was kind of a blessing in disguise that when things took a turn of events, which allowed them to be free of me. Place of Skulls?
Yes.
I did one record with Place of Skulls. Me and Victor. Victor is pretty much of a hardcore Christian, and that was slightly difficult, but we agreed to disagree on our religious things and make the music. We recorded that in a Christian rock studio in Tennessee, which the engineer was an amazing engineer, but I had to keep telling him to turn off the Fox News TVs he had in every room. That was an amazing record. I think it's an amazing record, and I think Victor's an amazing guitar player.
One of the more unusual projects you were involved with was Probat with Dave Grohl, and you were one of the many vocalists who guessed on that. What ideas, thoughts you have from that?
Well, basically, when Dave Grohl was just a pup, his band Mission Impossible would warm us up sometimes, and we would play shows with. I remember one show in particular, we played a show with the Exploited, the Obsessed. We would always get these weird punk rock gigs from this crazy punk rock dude I knew who ran embezzled from a record store in downtown in Georgetown. He's now deceased, unfortunately. He jumped off a building in D.C. But Dave Grohl played Mission Impossible, and he was fantastic. Their claim to fame was that at the end of their set they would play the Mission Impossible team at like 78 speed. Over the years, when Dave joined Scream, we did the Obsessed, did quite a few gigs with them, and he became known to us as the Kid. Everybody wanted the Kid, man, because the Kid was fucking fantastic, And Dave was a great guy. So later on, after he joined Nirvana, and actually, after Kurt died or was killed, I should say, and David started doing the Foo Fighters. At some point in time, he reached out to me to do. The way that he put it was he wanted to do a record where he wrote the music for all of his influences or mentors or to sing. So basically what he did was he sent me some music. I really liked it a lot. It was cool stuff. He said he wanted me to title it, to write the lyrics and sing it, and to play some lead guitar, which I did. At the time, I was really heavily into Zechariah Sitkin, who is a kind of a alternative biblical scholar, one of the few people. He's dead now, but one of the few people that could translate Babylonian cuneiform. I was really into. I was studying some esoteric stuff involving the Akashic records, the Emerald Tablets of Hermes from Thoth, which allegedly lie below the paws of the Sphinx. The very beginning of the song is missing something. So the poem that I speak at the very beginning of the song is actually ancient Babylonian, true ancient Babylonian poem translated from cuneiform that I added on there. I thought I made the song. I mean, Dave Grohl, recording with Dave Grohl is amazing. He's a great songwriter and he's a good friend.
When you heard that album back with all the different singers, what was your impression?
My impression was I liked my song, and I really liked Jack Black's song, I Am the Warlock. I think that it was, I like Tom G. Warrior's tune. I don't like a lot of it, but Shake Your Blood was cool. Eric Wagner's song was cool. We later went on to do a live version of Eric Wagner's song live on TV, on MTV, with Eric singing, and me and Greg Anderson from Sunday playing guitar, Nick Raskulinitz, who was David's engineer, playing bass, and Dave, of course, playing drums. It was pretty interesting. We did that, and we did this whirlwind tour of press with Snake from Boy Vibes, some other people that run the record, and then we did Jamie Jasta from Hatebreed did an interview, and then of course we played live. Nick Raskulinitz is a great character. He was one of Dave's engineers at the studio that they have in California now, and he said to me, "Man, I love St. Vitus, man. I saw St. Vitus at the Snake Snatch Lounge in Knoxville, Tennessee, tripping on acid." Yeah, Nick's a great guy.
Finally, what are the long-term plans for the Obsessed at this point?
long-term plans for the Obsessed are to keep touring. We're going to tour our ass off. We're at the very beginning of a 7-week tour with Carmen and Byrne and Fatso Jessup right now. And we've already got a brand new song in the can recorded with Reed Rayleigh, and we will continue to record and make music. That's what we do.
Thank you.
Yeah.